Hey guys, so welcome to my time-lapse drawing of a He-Man commission. He-Man vs. Skeletor commission I got from a great client, good buddy, even though he's a Niners fan and we just rolled them in the Super Bowl, so sorry bud. Sorry man. Alright, so here's my little narration over this commission. First of all, what you notice right here is I'm not actually working on the job I'm supposed to be working on. I find this happens a lot when you get commissions or things that you have to do. You always want to work on something else. So you kind of see me jumping back and forth here between ideas with the Resident Evil, possibly a print coming in the future, and the He-Man job that I have here. But basically, the whole idea is I just kind of wanted to get He-Man and Skeletor really face to face, like, and really push a cartoonier style. I really dig on Sean Galloway's style a ton these days, and obviously Joe Mad, everybody knows that, but I'm trying to push more into maybe like a looser cartoony style where I can exaggerate expressions. So even with the movement here, their bodies, you see, I'm really trying to exaggerate more of that line of action in Skeletor, especially kind of make him kind of creepy, bent over. I don't think that I pulled it off nearly as well as I wanted to. In fact, both these poses, I kind of missed out on what I was really going to go for, which you saw maybe from the first shot. That Leon sketch was actually initially supposed to be this and was from some different perspective. And you can see Skeletor's leg and He-Man's leg. I kind of have them coming towards the camera because I really want to push more perspective in my art. But I think I still am stiffening up a little bit, and you'll kind of notice I'm changing the torso here a little bit, changing the arms, having it come at you more. Just doing little things that I can try to mess with camera angles on stuff more and more. I think that's my big goal, is storytelling, but also a lot more perspective in my art this coming year. So now I got my line work laid down. I'm pretty happy with that. Moving on to the weapon design, which I hate drawing these weapons. Holy shit. The sword for He-Man felt like a drafting project. You can see how many times I go over this. Ultimately, it's a really cool design because you know exactly whose sword it is. But I wasn't going to do that for Skeletor after I tried He-Man's. I tried the angle a little bit differently, pointing at Skeletor's face a little bit, trying to direct the eye, but it just didn't work out quite like I wanted it to. So I think I'd change it back here in a bit. Also, this is a really kind of interesting thing to see in this drawing is I became really attached to how I drew these muscles and these arms on He-Man particularly, and I really wanted a lot of it to be visible. And I think this is a huge crux with art, is we're not able to like kill off our drawings for the sake of the betterment of the whole drawing, right? That was a really tough thing to learn with this one, was trying to know that I could draw something good again that I liked and show it off in another piece down the road at the expense of this piece. So I'm moving the sword around a lot. Finally got something that I like a lot more, but I had to cover up some of that arm, that chest plate that I liked. And you just got to get over it sometimes, or you never move on. I spent so much time trying to keep little things visible that I personally liked that nobody's ever really going to see, right? Nobody's ever really going to notice. And that's the thing, is with art, sometimes you really have to move on and get over shit. And just move on to your next thing, you know? There's going to be many more drawings. I spent way too much time on that because I just loved it. And sometimes you just got to get through it, right? Same way with some of He-Man's armor plate here. I tried the square designs on there. Didn't really like them so much. Luckily, I don't think they're used a whole lot other than the action figures, so I could scrape them. But yeah, it's just kind of about making choices in your art and getting to a place where you just kind of move on with inks, and it makes you have to settle on one design, and sometimes that's the hardest thing. I know I go over designs a lot because I see potential in like everything, color-wise, design-wise, and sometimes you just have to move on. So sometimes you have to throw these inks down and just say, all right, we're going on the next stage. And trust that you'll get better down the road. You'll have more chances down the road. So here's my inks going down. I'm using Procreate for all this, by the way. It took me a little bit with Procreate to really get the inks that I like. I'm used to using Clip Studio Paint, and I just love their inking tools. They're made for comics. But finally, I'm really liking Procreate. They actually have a tool where you can press down and hold a line, and it will either draw a straight line for you or a curved line as if you're using a French curve. And I use that a ton on this, and thank God whoever came up with that idea, because it just took digital art to a new level for me. I'm so thankful for that. If you're not using Procreate, I highly recommend it just after that. I also really love that I don't lose a lot zooming in and zooming out with the Procreate tools, so I'm really happy with it. I still haven't quite got to where coloring in Procreate is as easy as Clip Studio Paint, so I'm jumping back and forth a lot between that. You're going to miss a lot of the coloring, final stages anyways, the color dodge, the background colors, because I'm going to jump over to Clip Studio Paint and do that. But most of the coloring I actually did get done in Procreate here, laying down flats. And the more I learn about this program, the more I think I can actually get to a finished piece eventually with it. I know a lot of people have been able to, but it's just still something I'm learning a lot, and I still rely heavily on Clip Studio Paint. So here you can see the flats going down, just trying to keep basic color compositions, keep it pretty simple. Luckily, when you're working on character design, it's already decided for you. So it kind of takes it out of the equation, and then you just got to eyeball what kind of shadow color you want. And sometimes that's the big unifying factor in all this. I often put my cell shading shadows down in a purple, and then I'll color adjust, I think later, to more of a reddish color on here. I don't like using the grays. A lot of people use grays, but I feel like that gets it too flat. So I'll go in with the heavy purple, usually as my base shadow layer on multiply, and then I'll adjust the opacity down. One thing that I really do want to work on is adding maybe 2 or 3 more shadow layers, but I'm still finding that tricky to balance without it looking too shoddy. I try it here if you really look closely. There's a secondary layer of cell shading shadows in here that I'm going over, but I really just didn't like the way that they blend in together. So maybe down the road we'll figure that out. But I think I want to eventually end up with a little bit more than 2 or 3 shades on a piece. So here's the metal shading. Still working on getting the rendering down. It's a little bit tougher. Probably should have used a soft brush. You can see I use it on the sword. This is where it gets way easier in Clip Studio Paint, because you can actually select a color gamut and stay within it and quick mask. Can't talk at all. But yeah, there's my finished product, my sketches, to my finished lines, to my finished flats and colors. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this. Thank you for letting me ramble on it. And everybody have a good day.